Pleasant good morning to everybody out there. This is Ken McNatt with the MOV Weather and this special live severe edition of the overnight briefing. I will wait for a few of you to get in here. I want to share this in at least one other group before we get too far here, as we get some people to join us. All right, now that that's out of the way, good morning once again. This is Ken McNatt with the overnight briefing live, because there's just so much to cover and I want to make sure we get it all to you as much as I can, answer your questions best as I can, because today may very well be very active. It may not. It is still very conditional, although the models are very much showing that there will be at least some activity today. We'll go through the models. We have those there. And we'll also look at the radar. And we will look at the SPC outlooks as well. Before we get too far though, this morning's live severe weather coverage is presented in part by Andrew Lisk and Lisk Lawn Care. Andrew is proud to support trusted local weather coverage here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. With severe weather imminent, having timely and accurate local information can make a real difference. Andrew encourages everyone to stay alert, have a plan, and take warnings seriously as severe weather moves through. Thanks to Andrew Lisk and Lisk Lawn Care for sponsoring this live severe weather coverage. So yes, we are here. I have the models up now. That's going to be last. There's the radar. That's what I want to start with. We have plenty of watches and warnings to our west. The watches aren't populating properly. I'll have to fix that for our coverage. But we also see some activity trying to start ahead of the front. And I have made mention of this several times, that there could be activity this morning, and there very much is. Now, thankfully, it's mostly just shower activity, but if we turn on the lightning, we'll see if there's any there. There's a few strikes, less than 5 overall, and I see this stuff over here in Perry County trying to get going, and as I zoom in, none of the strikes are near the Mid-Ohio Valley at this time. So thankful for that. One model is fairly close to looking like this right now. That's the NAM model, so that will be the first model I'll review once we get to it. But right now, I want to go to the SPC outlook. The Storm Prediction Center has maintained a slight risk, a level 2 of 5 risk for severe thunderstorms today. Timing is basically any time between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Wind probability 30% within 25 miles of a point. Hail risk has increased to 15%. From earlier, it was 5% earlier. Tornado risk is still 5% within 25 miles of a point. Their conditional intensity grouping is still 1, which means that there's a 5% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles, which is a very low percentage, but still not 0. And that any one of those reports could be up to an EF2. That's their forecast right now. It doesn't mean every single one of them is going to be EF2. And with the percentage being that low, it would take only one tornado for that forecast to verify. Now, I've made these graphics just this evening because I wanted to be able to break down the categories for you. And what we have here, we have the tornado risk for the entire area at 5%. Doesn't matter where you are in the coverage area, 5% it is. Wind up to 30%. That has been maintained from last night. And in fact, that swath of 30 has been increased from beyond the region for most of Ohio and a good chunk of Pennsylvania and a chunk of West Virginia as well. The 5% tornado risk, going back real quick, includes much of southeast Ohio and much of West Virginia. Very odd for there being a 5% tornado risk all over West Virginia. Hail up to 15% within 25 miles. So again, regardless of which category we're talking about, it is 25 miles from any point within the risk area. So for tornadoes, 5%, wind 30%, hail 15%. So that's the first thing. The next thing, and again, this is how I like breaking down the new SPC outlooks, because it gets rid of that hatching stuff and it breaks it down to the two categories they're focused on. This last slide here was probability, which they've done forever, and conditional intensity. How strong do they believe the severe weather will be if you get it? And that's the other key, if you get it. For tornadoes, they have put it in their CIG, as they call it, conditional intensity grouping. I'm just going to use the word intensity for talking purposes. So their intensity level is 1, which correlates to up to EF2 strength. The wind intensity is at a level 0, which is less than 74 miles per hour. So they're anticipating if there are reports of winds over 58 miles per hour, there will also be less than 74. Finally, hail is also at a 0, which means they do believe there will be severe hail reports, but that they'll be less than 2 inches in diameter. So again, definitely not a high-end risk at all, but something worth watching. Landon says, have a feeling that we'll see lots of cloud cover tomorrow. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of clouds around, most definitely. But the energy along the front, the difference between the warm air ahead of it and the cold air behind it, at least makes this risk a little bit higher than the last one. And we'll go through the models here real quick. I want to bring that up. There we go. Good old friend Pivotal Weather there. And I'm going to start with the NAM model, because again, this is at 3 a.m. and it's about 2:35 right now as we stand on this live. And I want to bring up the radar again because I want to make a comparison. So there's the Mid-Ohio Valley. There's what the radar looks like I said. As of, I want to put this up a little more. There we go. As of 2:36 in the morning. And then here's the NAM model. That looks relatively close to what we're seeing right now. So we're going to start at 3 a.m. Go to 4, 5. I'm going to stop it right there. That looks like a healthy cell. And of course, don't worry too much about locations. The models can only do so much when it comes to locations, but I'm looking at strength here. I'm looking at potential soundings here. Marginal severe, very loose matches to hail events above 1.5 inches, very low tornado match. So there could be some supercells this morning, but the main risk seems to be hail, and wind. Although, of course, a supercell can also spin a tornado. So we have to be mindful of it. It could be a sneaky risk. It's even lower than the 5% this morning. It's not 0. It's probably not even 1. It's going to be sneaky. So we still have to watch it. So we go to 6, 7. Then we get a break. And then cells hit and miss all morning. Come to 2, 3, 4. And there's not a lot during the day. 5, 6, 7, 8. Get to 9 p.m. here. And that's the front trying to move through. And the other thing I want to check real quick, if I'm able to, is cloud cover. Now keep in mind, when it comes to cloud cover, the blues are clouds. White is more clear. Gray is sort of in the middle. So we'll see here about the sun thing, Landon. There could be some breaks today based on the NAM model. We're going to go back to 6 a.m., 7, 8, and keep going here through the morning. Off and on clouds. A little less cloudy than I was anticipating. Of course, that's just based on one model. So that's the NAM model. And I see your question there, Tyra. Significant? Probably not. This is, again, a level 2 of 5 risk. I mean, obviously, if you get hit by one directly, that's significant to you. And I don't want to dismiss that at all. But this is a lower end risk overall. Probably a little higher than the last one, but not by much. Here's the HRRR model. Again, we'll run through that starting at 3 in the morning. And we don't see activity at all on here until 7. So already the HRRR is behind when it came to initializing. But then we go to 8, 9, 10 through the morning. And then the HRRR is showing some clusters very much closer to the Mid-Ohio Valley. Clusters, maybe even some line segments and potential bows even. And then some more discrete cells here as of 6 p.m. The front's still behind. And I want to check the cloud cover here as well. It's probably a little more cloudy if I would guess, because again, remember that blues are cloud cover, whites are clear, grays are in between. So we get through 7, 8, 9 in the morning. Not as many breaks on the HRRR. Some breaks, but not as many. And then finally, we go to the Rufus model. The Rufus, the RRFS model. This model is eventually going to replace the HRRR. Right now, it's still not quite fully operational because it has not replaced the HRRR yet. So basically, we can compare the old short term with the new short term. And here, the Rufus is already picking up on some precipitation as of 20 minutes from now. So that's already a good sign compared to the HRRR. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, activity picks up, according to Rufus. Rufus has a little more of a bark, but not as much bite. At least not in the morning. It's not until 2, 3 o'clock that Rufus brings in some line segments. And honestly, I think that might be the front. I'm going to zoom out here. Yeah, that's the front, according to Rufus. Rufus has the front in at 5 o'clock. I don't know if I buy that. Although earlier models, and I'm not sure which one, I think it's been switching between, The front would settle in somewhere along like Route 32, Route 50, near the Ohio River, and there'd just be pulses of storms coming up it all day before the front moves through. One other thing I want to show you is I want to finish off the NAM model. So I want to show you what it's thinking for tonight into tomorrow at this point. Look at that, some snow. How about that? Can't beat that. I'm not sure if I completely buy that. At least the intensity anyway. I don't know if temperatures are going to get cold enough to sustain that. But we'll see. So, again, to review real quick. And I'll take any questions you have. So I think I got Tyra's, and I addressed Landon here. Yeah, I hear you, Landon. And about the warmth, well, you know, everybody likes saying that Ohio and West Virginia, really anybody says this about where they live, is that if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Well, me still being out in Kansas, in the next 10 days, I have temperatures ranging from 15 degrees to 90 degrees. 50 today, 75 tomorrow, 16 by Sunday morning, Sunday night into Monday morning, but then next Friday, 90. So I think I win for now on that. And I think 90 might be an overcorrection for you, Landon. So I think in terms of your warmth, you'll get there, and I'll eventually get there personally. So it's all going to be good. So looking at the severe risks one more time. No. There we go. So severe risks one more time. Again, it's a level 2 of 5. It's a slight risk. It is a borderline enhanced risk. They've been teasing that for the last 4 or 5 updates. But then they'd give a reason why they wouldn't. And at the same time, they'd expand the risk. Like they're doing everything they can not to push it into enhanced. Because I think that they have doubts, and they're right to have doubts. It's just strange to see them expanded at the same time, but they have their reasons, and I'm not going to push on that. But I do tend to agree that if conditions are optimal today, then yeah, we're going to see a lot of activity. But at the very least, today's risk is a little bit higher than the last one. At the very least. And then, yeah, Landon, yeah, 90. Yeah, that's at least boating weather. You got that right. Good to be outside. I don't know how I'm going to take that after 16 degrees 5 days prior. The probabilities from the Storm Prediction Center. 5% within 25 miles that there could be a tornado. 5%, that's 5 out of 100. So it would only take like one tornado for that to verify. Wind, they expanded that in the previous update to 30%. That's 30% within any point in here, within 25 miles of any point in here, that there could be a damaging wind report of 58 miles per hour or more. Then finally, hail is at 15% within 25 miles of any point, that there could be at least a report of 1-inch diameter hail, which is quarter-sized. Then finally, once again, the conditional intensities. Their CIGs, which are new this year, which they use hatching. I'm not a big fan of the hatching. I wish they would just issue a second map, just like I have here. Tornadoes, they have them at a 1. So we have a 5% chance to see a tornado within 25 miles, and that tornado could be up to EF2. That's their feeling, that's their guess based on the setup as they see it. Wind is a 0, which means that yes, there's a 30% chance that there will be a damaging wind report within 25 miles, but that those reports should be under 74 miles per hour. And then finally, the hail risk. Once again, that's also at a conditional intensity of 0. They do believe that there's a 15% chance that there will be a severe hail report within 25 miles, and that those reports should be above 1 inch but below 2 inches in diameter. All right. So with that, that's all I have. If there are any more questions, I would gladly take them. But yeah, I thank all of you for joining. It's been great to go live this morning and share the latest with you and share the setup as well, because this is the new setup as you see it. The video screen, the partner, Sky, yes, power outages, very much possible. Probably similar to the level of the last one. Yes, Taryn, that 5% risk exploded on this update. Absolutely. It did. I was not expecting that, but it, like I said earlier, if you weren't with us at the time, it is strange for West Virginia to have basically a statewide 5% risk for tornadoes. That's not every day that happens. So it's something to watch. If everything turns out in the environment, if everything clicks, then there's going to be a lot more activity than there was the last time. But there are limiting factors such as convection ahead of the front, which is starting right now. The cloudiness. Now, once again, the NAM model at least is showing some more peaks of sunshine. So that could play a factor, because the anticipation was a lot more clouds. And there's still going to be a lot of clouds today. But any sunshine today is storm fuel. We should have highs nearing 80 degrees, dew points approaching 65. So right there is fuel within itself. The question is, does the environment take advantage of it? Is there enough storm fuel cape? Is there enough lift in the atmosphere? My answer, there's at least going to be some. The activity, I believe, will at least mirror the last one, but the risk is a tad bit higher. Kyle, that's okay. Do you think we're going to maintain the instability, or are we going to get fizzled out? And that's actually something I've been just talking about the clouds especially, and the rain ahead of the front that's starting to form. And the NAM model showed more breaks in the clouds than the other models, but all of them showed some breaks in the clouds. So any sunshine is storm fuel. This is the type of setup where you don't want sunshine, because there will be a lot of activity if the atmosphere gets every last bit of what is available to it. So hopefully that answers your question, Kyle. Thank you for joining this morning. So I once again want to thank Andrew Lisk and Lisk Lawn Care for being presenting partner for this live. Andrew is proud to support trusted local weather coverage here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. With severe weather imminent, having timely and accurate local information can make a real difference. Andrew encourages everyone to stay alert, have a plan, and take warning seriously as severe weather moves through. Thanks to Andrew Lisk and Lisk Lawn Care for sponsoring this live severe weather coverage. So I thank all of you as well for joining me very early. I was going to call this, not sure if it's a morning or an evening briefing, but it's an overnight briefing. And if weather gets like this anytime during the summer, I'll do this. But again, please support the page, share, like, comment. There's many ways to support. You're seeing them on the ticker. That ticker is going to be, let's see here. I can't even point on a live screen. That ticker there, that's going to be a permanent thing on the live broadcasts. I'm proud to have that. I built that last night, actually. And also, the page is going to have automated alerts, finally. So I don't have to post them during live coverage. So you'll see them on the page, and you'll see them on the ticker. So you'll see them in two places. Eventually, I want to get to a third. I am building a dashboard that you can access as a web page. That's not going to come with this set of storms, though. Hopefully, I have that up by the end of the month. So you'll have three places to get the alerts from my page. And maybe I add another social media by the start of April as well. So things are looking exciting here. Not just in terms of the weather we'll have to watch, but just overall with the service here. So if anyone has any more questions, I'll wait a couple seconds, and if we don't, I'll sign off and leave it at that for now. And you'll see me again probably with the morning briefing, because I'll still issue that. So yeah, let's make sure. Yeah, Kyle, if you want to go chasing, that's up to you. I don't know if this is necessarily a good day to do that because of the potential cloud cover. Now, if you get some sunshine, get some breaks in the clouds before the storm comes, maybe you get a nice shelf cloud. Taryn, yeah, good question. You want to become a partner? You can message me. I'm here, so I can talk to you a little bit about that and send my rates for the spring. You can do that. You can message me right here on the page, or you can send an email to movweather@gmail.com. Either way works. I'm here all morning, all day until the threat goes away, and then I go night-night for a while. So that's basically what's going to happen. But thank you, Taryn. Yes, I would very much would like to talk to you about that, and would love the opportunity to have you on as a partner, or anybody else you might have in mind. And that goes for any of you. If you know anyone or any business owner or any business that might be interested in supporting what we do here, I'd be glad to talk to you. Message me, email me, it's all there. The link tree I just put out, everything I do is on that link tree. And that will be updated as I add stuff and subtract stuff and tinker with what I'm doing. But I hope everything I do makes your experience better. Good morning, Stuart. Thank you for joining. You have any questions or anything, Stuart? If you don't, I'm actually about to sign off here, but I do thank you for joining, and I hope you watch it back. All right. I do think that's it for now. If I happen to see any more questions on this post between now and the morning briefing, I will do my best to get to them and answer them. But for now, thank you for joining us. This is Ken McNatt wishing you a good morning, and please remain weather aware. Have a good day, everybody.